usual. Let me just get this going. Do this first. This. Okay. This one. And grab this. That should be everything, right? This is, yep. Okay. All right. Let me this up. Do this. And I'm once again, as always, gonna have to figure out how far I'm supposed to go over. I could just remember. I just never remember where I've left off with that. Gosh, I should need to memorize that, and for some reason I never do. I think it's something like this. Maybe? I don't even know. Well, as usual, we'll try it and see how off I am. I guess. Quite a bit. Okay, so the side of that. Okay. Something like that. Let's see how far that is. Hey, Kissa. Glad to see you too. Yeah, I am trying, like you may have seen if you noticed from last night or the day before, actually, because I had an extra day this week. You'll notice I am trying to do some of the games that we have left over from previous Hollow streams. So that does not mean though that I'm going to stop in the middle of another game. The only game that's the exception to that. Well, so there are a couple of basically, how do I say this? I won't do that unless there's this really, like, in my mind, a good reason that is an exception to the rule. So, in the case of Get Even, whether you follow that or not doesn't matter. I could explain what I mean when I use this as an example. In the case of Get Even, we had a whole lot of missions and everything all working up to the final mission, right? We have the final mission or final memory mission, whatever, to do. Still, I stopped before that because there was so much stuff leading up to that. Felt like it got too complicated that like I was not following everything fully, and I'm the one playing. So other people who may not be able to attend every single stream or something might get lost, right? So I'm partway through, but I'm not finished. I need to finish. I'm making basically like a summary video of this far in the game. This is what we know is going on and all the stuff that's happened so that everybody is caught up. So when I do that last mission, it'll make more sense to everybody and tie everything up, hopefully. That's one example. Another example is Martha is Dead, and I know you didn't like that one. That's fine. But Martha is Dead, I started having, the last few times I started play, I started having serious lag in the game where like, as I was turning. And I'm like, well, that's no good. I can't play a game like that. So for that one, I have to wait till I get my new graphics card. Okay, so those two, for example, are on pause for specific reasons. Okay, but generally speaking, oh, and there's one more. So the next stream that will happen in about 10 hours from now is As Dusk Falls. That one I'm specifically breaking up because it's episodic. So I'm doing like an episode, then I'm doing something in between, then I'm doing another episode and something in between. So I'm not stopping the game really. I'm just pausing between episodes, as it were. Okay. I might do something similar with Song of Horror because Song of Horror is episodic too. I'm not sure on that one though. Anyway, you get the idea though of what like I have a specific reason in mind why I pause something, but as a general rule, I don't like to do that. So the fact that we've been going through Black Mirror 2, do not plan on stopping that for something else in the meantime or whatever. I plan on continuing to do that game. Okay, I'm close. How far off am I? I need to go to the V, probably. Okay. So, out there. Something like that. That should be close at least. One more try. See if this is now... too far. Of course it is. Okay. E on file. To go over... like that much. Okay. I'll go up a little bit. Okay, so if I do this... yeah. Okay, so blue funnel. I need to remember blue funnel. I'll write that note, and then next I'll make a better note after the stream is over. Blue funnel is what I need to pay attention to. So I have on my streaming software, there are different features I can use. One of them is a little blue funnel symbol. So this will remind me on the streaming software, the blue funnel symbol is the place where I want to slide over to, and then I will know that I'm over far enough for Black Mirror. I keep forgetting to... I previously, when I've been shifting it over, because it shifts graphically, right? So previously when I've been doing that, I've been looking at my big monitor, but the problem is that maybe doesn't line up always the right way. I need to look at the right monitor, see how far over it will end up. Anyway, it's a thing. You don't need to know all the details. Okay, 12. Yep, so last time we ended up basically, it looks like, at the cult headquarters, I guess, right? So you'll notice I'm using the little earbuds today. I wasn't in the mood to use the big ones. Sometimes the big ones just, they're like, I don't even know, too sweaty or something on my ears. Anyway, so today I've switched to earbuds just for now. I might switch back to the other ones later tonight. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, so we worked our way out of where we had been. So after we slid down that big tube from the sewers, we were trapped in the one room. We got out just in time to have some cult yahoo go, blah, 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 we've been expecting you, blah, blah, blah. And then he leaves, thinking we were going to stay trapped, but of course we didn't. We worked through several things, opening door and going down into an old water tank and so on, just working our way out and through, and eventually got our way out of the mine shaft or whatever it is over here exactly. Yeah, it's a mine shaft, I guess. Got our way out of here. There's a crevice, and that's actually where we came from. So this mine shaft, if I'm not mistaken, this mine shaft is the same mine shaft from the first game that Samuel used in looking for different things. Now over here, I'm trying to remember how far out he goes. Maybe he goes all the way to the end before? I don't know. Somewhere around over here, though, he might have had to gone into another room and over. I don't remember now. Anyway, but somewhere over here, roughly, was an exit outside to the forest. So that's where we are here. This is the super old mine shaft where he was in the first game. That obviously is, as the sign indicates, is in perfectly great shape, and everybody should use it all the time, every day. So that's a thing. Let's see what he says about it.
I'd have to crawl about 2 yards through the shaft. I guess the bunker room is at least a yard deeper than this room. No way.
Yeah. I figured he
No
doesn't
way.
wanna go back, but I mean, like, why go back to where you'd be trapped, right? But just checking to see if he had anything to say. Since this is totally out of order, obviously we're not going to comment on the control panel that used to work for it. As it is, when Samuel used this was already super old, right? So I was surprised it was working when Samuel was there. So the fact that it's not working now is not even remotely shocking. Bowl? You mean like a cistern?
Huh. There's a fire burning in the dish. That means that someone was here not so long ago. Hopefully they won't be coming back as long as I'm here.
That would be the hope, yeah. I would not want to get caught sneaking out. You're like, dead. Oh, hi there. That would be that would be a little nerve-wracking. So from a bunch of people who are here, possible disguise, depending on what he says about them and stuff. Maybe he wears one of those and they don't realize it's him. Do kind of the Scooby-Doo thing where they put on the robes of the cult and then pretend to be part of the cult or whatever. Maybe. Let's see what he says.
There's several folded cloaks lying in front of the chest. 5 or 6 of them. Does that mean this conspiracy is only made up of a handful of people?
Maybe, but it's more likely that's the total number of people who are here right now. Like, people are gonna have different times of day, maybe in their schedule where they can come or something.
No clues. Nothing that might help me. Is this some kind of assembly room? A club room for the local necromancy and black magic society. Okay. As soon as I found Angelina, I'm out of here.
Yeah, seriously, I would not hang around this place. The question is how are they gonna get out? Because crawling back down the shaft is going to take him back where he's trapped. Even if he goes to the far room where he first landed out of the sewer, you can't crawl back up that pipe. So he's going to have to find some other way out of here, which is potentially a problem, right? Because who knows where the various cultists are going to be, right, at any given moment. They could be wandering the halls and suddenly you get caught. So that's a problem. No Angelina in this room, at least. Yeah, and she might not even be here. I have no idea, like, how things progress in the game, right? So I don't know where we will end up finding her. This is... I don't remember which is which. I think this is Mordred. I think that's who this is Mordred. The brother Mordred who killed... Killed? Yeah, I think so. No, was killed, right? Yeah, the supposedly good brother saw that Mordred was doing dark things and killed him, I guess, or something, right? I can't remember now. Something like that. One of the brothers killed the other, and then, yeah, I think that's right. Morgan, or whatever his name was, killed Mordred, but then Mordred cursed Morgan's line in the process. So now for the rest of their lineage, they've been under this Black Mirror curse. Frankly, I'm surprised that their family line has lasted as long as it has, right? Because if you think about how many generations that would be until you get to Samuel, that's kind of surprising. If you look at what's it called? Shoot, I'm not going to remember the name of it now. There's a game I did a while ago, like probably now 6 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. That was like the end of what remains of Edith Finch, right? And that whole Finch family line had a curse effectively basically following them. And so like people in the different branches would die at different points. Sometimes you'd have a branch, you'd have like a parents, let's say, would have like 4 or 5 children, and like all but 2 of them died in that generation, and then those 2 had children, and then those 2 parents also died, and then among their children even more died anyway. So you ended up with the whole point of the game. This should not be giving anything away, because this is the whole point of the game. Was Edith Finch is like the last of all of the lines of that lineage, the last of all of that family tree. She's the only one of all those different descendants left, and she feels like, because of the curse, she feels like she will also die soon. And so it's kind of her story about wondering, am I going to die? How am I going to die? Will I be able to have a kid and pass on the family before I die? All of this kind of stuff, right? Yeah. That's the gist of the game, is what I was explaining. But like I said, I'm not just for you, right? Because if you've played it or whatever, then obviously I'm not giving anything away. But just in case anybody else who watches this later has not played it, I don't want to spoil anything. But the point is, that's kind of the whole point of the game. Is she's the last of all of that family tree, and she's wondering, is there really a curse? Am I cursed and gonna die as well before I won't get all that old and I'll die? And if so, then will I be able to have a kid who could live and survive me before I go? All of this kind of stuff, right, is kind of the theme of the game. And then the game itself, you're playing through the different characters who we know have died and seeing how that happened, right? Was that the whole point of the game? I think so. There are broader life questions throughout the game, right? They address, depending on what choices you make, they address homosexual relationships, they address gun safety, they address a lot of different topics, right? My point is the overarching storyline, the whole point is she's the last of the Finches and is not sure if she's going to survive, and if so, will she be able to pass on the lineage to her children before she goes? That's really story-wise, that's the whole point of it. But there like I said, there are a lot of social issues addressed in that, of course, so as well. I don't see anything else in this room to examine. Not the portrait, not the pulpit, not the other braziers. We've already done the banner, not the chairs. Yeah, I guess we're just going out that door. I've looked up at the beams and stuff too, and I don't see anything to examine here. Yeah, so I guess we're going out. Oh, did she survive? Well, that'll be something, if you want, I can tell you in Discord later. But I'm not going to say here, because like I said, I don't want to spoil anything. Because the point of the game is she doesn't know if she's going to or not, and I don't want to spoil it, because that's kind of the whole idea of the game, is going throughout. She's not sure if she's going to. She feels like she might not, but maybe it's just accidents, and she'll be okay. She's not sure, right? And so she's progressing through all these other ancestors' memories and stories and stuff. So I don't want to give anything away. So just remind me in Discord, like message me, DM me in Discord if you want, and I can tell you the outcome. But my point was that the overarching idea is, not really, but in a little bit, it's similar to this, which is there's this whole lineage, this family history of this curse, and it just continued down through the generations, and whittling down or shaving off little pieces of the tree, narrowing until there's only one line really left. And then what happens when that line also is cursed and the people die or whatever, right? So yeah, I guess we're just going out here. I can't see another. Okay.
Not again. Why do I continuously find myself standing in front of locked doors? Ugh! Oh, hell. That's another way of doing it.
Okay, he needs to learn to keep his temper under control. Banging on the door when you know there are cultists around, is that really smart? Why? Why would you do that? Why? Okay. You could have just had it be yet another thing he uses the lockpicking tool on or something. You didn't have to have him act like an idiot and potentially call all of the cultists in the whole complex to him or something. So, not the brightest sometimes. He's not quite that bad, but sometimes he reminds me, if you've seen the Back to the Future movies, he reminds me a tiny bit of Marty McFly, where if somebody calls him chicken, he cannot stand it and he must respond, even if it means he's being stupid, like the truck race or whatever, the road racing he was potentially going to do. Anyway.
All right. Calm down now.
Should have stayed calm.
Angelina's still missing. Perhaps she's been used as bait in order to lure me here. But why? And where is she now?
Yeah.
Perhaps I should talk to Miss Valley again. She knows more than she lets on. The question is, what's with the Order? I mean, who belongs to it? What do they want from me?
Oh, great.
Ah!
I saw that coming. I saw him show up on the right side before he even responded. Oh, and he stands up right at the last second. Perfect. So that was him going through the sewers. Yep. So I guess the Order watching it the whole time. Boris, yep. Chapter 4. Okay. So we might as well have just done that last bit last time, but I didn't know, right? We were in a new area, so. Okay. That's fine.
Oh, my head. Who the hell was that? And now where am I? I've got to free myself somehow before whoever it is comes back.
It's a little bit of an odd thing with the sound in this game. Don't mind me here. I'm just gonna off camera really fast do this. The volume level is dramatically different, right? Like right here, right now, where he's in the chair there, the volume is fine. But that whole cut scene leading up to chapter 4 was pretty loud in my ear. So that's interesting. These, unlike my normal headphones, these do not have a volume control for the headphones themselves, so I have to just kind of deal with it if the volume is too high. I don't want to keep adjusting for you, and then maybe it's not high enough for you or whatever. So I did see though, like on the stream, so I have, obviously the thing that shows the volume level has green when it's good, yellow when it's maybe a bit too much, and red when it's really, really way too high. Anyway, during that whole cut scene going to the chapter 4 thing, it was in the yellow, like constantly. So that tells you, and right now it's maybe halfway through the green. So that tells you the difference in volume level between them. Just interesting. I don't think... Oh, sound effects maybe. Overall volume. Speech volume. I guess I could turn this down some, but that's going to turn... I could turn the other stuff up. Let's do that. So let's do... So speech volume, effects, let's go this to 50. So we're going up 15%. So this is like 20... Well, 30 is fine. We're about 27. And then I'll turn this up to... we'll say 25. And then I'm going to turn the overall down to 75. So the total max volume and everything should be adjusted, but they should hopefully still be relatively in balance with each other. Hey, Silhouette, welcome. All right. Oh, so I have bonds on me right now. I see. What will I be able to cut my bonds on or loosen them with? Let's see.
A green plastic bottle. I can't see what it is exactly.
The first part of the game was, well, yeah, I mean, it is true. I would say, obviously, you're going to have to, since as far as we know, and I still don't know for sure that it's confirmed, maybe he does turn out to still be alive later in this game. I don't know. Do not tell me. I don't want a spoiler, but let's say Samuel ends up being alive later in this game. Still, by the end of the first game, as far as we know, Samuel is dead. As far as we know, he kills himself in the ceremony or whatever. So, if that's true, in order to continue the series, you need something to tie somebody else into what was going on in the first game, right? So, in this game, so that they don't give too much away, let's say Samuel is alive still. I am not sure. But let's say he is. To not give away that he's alive still, you want to get some other character involved in the story, right? So we have Darren here, Darren Michaels. Well, the thing is, you have to figure out how to get Darren tied over to Black Mirror, right? Now, I would say they probably spent a little bit too much time in that first chapter. Did not need to be nearly as long as it was. But the basic idea I don't think was bad, right? So he's up in Biddeford. He has a mom who used to work on Black Mirror Estate, so that's the tie to Black Mirror. But you also have like mysterious payments coming to her and stuff, so there's a tie as well. And some of the stuff happens in the first chapter, but maybe it doesn't take quite as much to get through it and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Yeah, please don't tell me. Exactly. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll shove it closer into the light. Huh. Kerosene. Judging by the weight, there's also still some in it. Huh.
Okay, so potentially use that later. Yeah, there's a kerosene lamp, so we'll probably grab that and use that later. That's not going to help me, I don't think, to get free, because how are we going to use our feet or something to lift the bottle to fuel kerosene if it's out of fuel, and then light it also? We don't have matches. It's like even if it has an electric lighter, still lifting this up with your feet and then filling this and then using the electric lighter and then turning yourself around and burning the ropes. I mean, I think that's just way too complicated to be able to realistically manage, but we'll see what they say.
Huh. An old kerosene lamp. Looks pretty big and heavy. The glass is missing.
The glass is missing. So if you're going to use this one, you would need to replace the glass, because otherwise the first wind that comes along would just blow the flame out. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
There's bright daylight streaming between the nailed up planks. How long was I out for?
I mean, to be fair, it had been night for a little bit of time before you even went to Angelina's room and went down into the sewers. And then you had all the traveling through the sewers and down the pipe, and then that whole mess of stuff trying to escape. So I would say that'd be at least a few hours, all of that. So I don't know.
A few shards of glass, probably from the broken oil lamp. They're curved and relatively thick. I can't reach it.
Oh, where am I going to be able to set that glass?
There's bright daylight streaming between the nailed up planks.
Let me see. Oh. Wait.
I can't reach it.
Yeah. If I do something else, this goes back out of my inventory. So maybe I need to do something else
An
first.
old cleaning cloth. Quite obviously not been used for quite some time.
Yeah. See, he leaves the glass over there for now. Nothing on the shelves. That might change once we're loose, because it would be kind of pointless right now while we're tied up, but I don't know. I'm guessing this will still be nothing once we get loose as well. Wooden strip?
A thin strip of wood. I think I can reach it. Got it.
Okay. But if I were in this situation myself, I think it would be horror already. I mean, to be fair, if you were still at Biddeford, but you found out there's some cult tied to somebody coming after the girl you like or something, even if that's not exactly what was happening, but if you if you feel like that's something that's happening, that would start to be kind of horrific for you, most likely, right?
I wouldn't be able to cut through the ropes with the strip. It's rounded off and it's really too soft.
Yeah. Okay, so I need this. Somehow I'm gonna attach that to. So I cannot attach this. How? Are we actually going to try to burn it? Maybe, I guess. Let's try this. Hang on. Let's go back over and get this. Try to use this with the kerosene. No. 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 So none of those things. White sheet.
The furniture's been covered to protect it from dust. And taking a good look at it, I'd say nobody's been here for years.
Except for the people who dropped you off here, of course. Being tied in a chair like that, horrible without permission. You want the nice cult people to ask for permission before tying them up? Is that what you're saying, Kissa? Please, oh please, can we tie you up? It'd be great for our cult practices. We love to do that because we worship and we're kind of crazy that way. So it'd be amazing if we could do something like that. Um, what now? I gotta do something. I cannot use the cloth and the shard at the same time. Cannot do the shard because he says it's too far away. I cannot do this on the shard to try to connect it so that you'd have some reach to cut ropes or whatever. Hmm. Not use this on the kerosene though, right? Yeah, no. Yes, do. Oh, by all means, please carry out your cult ritual on me. Oh, it means sacrificing my life? Yeah, that's fine. I didn't have anything to do today anyway. Might as well fill up my day with some self-sacrifice. It's fine. Anything else on the floor that I'm missing? So potentially you could use, I don't know about this, the rag right now, but potentially you could use like the shard of glass with this, like I said, to get reach so you can cut. But I don't have a way of connecting it right now, and I'm not sure. Hmm. This will not soak with the kerosene, will not go with the glass to get cut up, will not do anything with the window. So that's no. This will not combine with the old rag, or the kerosene, or the glass, or the window. This will not go with the kerosene, or the glass, or the window, or the rag, or the strip. None of those are bonds, so I was not surprised that that was not gonna happen. But I figured maybe I have to, for some reason I have to do it in reverse direction. It's possible. It's not the case, looks like, but I thought it was possible, so I figured I should try at least. What am I missing? A bottle of kerosene that I can't really do anything with right now.
Huh. Kerosene. Judging by the weight, there's also still some in it. Huh.
Okay, so. But none of these things, literally none of these work with the kerosene. They're all grayed out when I try. So. Window. None of these go with a window. Rag, no. Strip, no. And obviously bonds, no.
There's bright daylight streaming between the nailed up planks.
On those way out. We lost the cloth again. It's fine. It's not like I can't go grab it again. Nothing on this front area, huh? Strange. I would expect something over here, but I guess not. Not this sheet or curtain. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. No, I don't see anything interesting. So I wonder what it's expecting me to do. As far as I know, it's possible I missed one, but as far as I know, I've tried every combination of whatever else there is in my inventory or in the room with the cloth and with the glass shard. Double check. Let me grab the glass shard again, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, I have an idea, maybe. Can I use this on the lights from the window? No. Use it on the bottle of kerosene? What would that do?
I could try to cut the bottle open.
What? That doesn't make any sense. You can't cut glass with glass. I mean, not easily, at least. Might as well just smash it with your foot.
The kerosene is spread and has run into the crannies in the wood. There's a small pool of it left.
Okay. Why would you use glass to cut glass and not just like the heel of your boots or something? That seems strange to me, but I guess whatever, it's fine.
I think I've got it all. The rag is now soaked in the kerosene. I better leave it there.
I grab another piece of glass and use it on this to... So I'm still thinking you could magnify the light and create heat, right? Just like with a magnifying glass or some such. Yeah, there we go. Cause that to burn.
Good. I'll hold the shard of glass in one of the beams of sunlight. I think it's doing it. The shard focuses the light and heats a tiny spot on the material. Now that oughta... Wow. Way cool. Oh, okay. I have to get there. That looks better already.
Then burn your bonds. Feels like they made it way more complicated than they needed to, but fine.
That's much better.
The convenient pile of dirt or sand or something on the floor used to snuff out the fire. Sure. That's believable. That's fine. Whatever. It's a point and click. They get silly sometimes. Like I've said multiple times before, George carries a worm with him like for 3 cities or something. Better be really careful when I look around. I don't want my next step to be my last, but I need to know where I am and how I get out of here. I guess that's the current? Must be, right? Climb out of the pipe. See what these guys did to Reginald Boris. My life's on the line if I hang around here. Until we get shot with a dart, and apparently they want to keep me hanging around and don't want to actually kill me. Interesting. Since they specifically had said they were planning on holding me for a week and then killing me. Kind of hard to discern what the plans of the cult are, because, you know, obviously it's not just killing me, because otherwise they would have done that long before. Yeah, I mean, looks like we've done everything else up to this point, so I guess it's just this is where we are right now. Okay.
Two landscape pictures. One shows a small rural town, and the other one a moorland scene. There's a brass plate under the picture of the town. There's something on it. Cardiff 1812.
Okay. It's good Darren has magic boots that can extinguish fire. I know. That's what I was saying. Like, clearly, you could totally see on the screen that there's a pile of sand or something he can use to just extinguish the fire, right? To suffocate the fire. So obviously he's going to do that. It's not like he goes, I'm like, dude, you're rubbing your foot across the top of a board. There's literally nothing happening to the fire, but we'll pretend like there was a pile of dirt or something. He said there was dust, but there's not going to be enough to put a fire out. Not with the size of fire that they showed, at least. All right, let me grab a drink. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff still in this that's a mystery, right? Don't know what the. So they had a portrait, I guess, or whatever, of Mordred down in their little meeting audience place before we were knocked out and put here. So obviously they have some tie to the stuff that was going on with Black Mirror originally. Well, and also of course the game's Black Mirror too, right? But so there's that. But why they have not killed us is a little bit of a mystery. It must have to do with one of their rituals, like their ritual requires them to kill or whatever a specific bloodline or something, and we're not part of that bloodline. Maybe our mom, supposedly at least, was just a servant at Black Mirror Castle, not actually one of the Gordon bloodline. That might not end up being true, but I don't have any evidence yet that it's anything more than what he's found out, or he thinks he's found out so far. So assuming his mom is just a servant, we would not be part of the bloodline, like part of a bloodline tied to the Gordons. But it is possible because, for example, in the first game, Samuel killed the boy, killed the gardener, so his sacrificing was not something that required the Gordon blood to do. He could use it, but at least for part of that ritual he was doing, he did not need Gordon bloodline. So it's possible that that still. My point is, it seems like the reason he's still alive is there could be a couple of things. Either they don't actually know where Angelina is. Maybe she's hiding. He thinks the cult has her, but maybe they don't. She's hiding, and they figure he'll lead them to her. That does make it puzzling, though, when they had him down below and said, "You'll be here a week, and then we'll kill you." So there's that. The other thing could be maybe he does have a particular blood, maybe not even in the Gordon family bloodline, but maybe he has a particular blood, like family inheritance, family lineage that they need for their ritual, but his death has to be last. So they're in the process of doing the other stuff. So when he gets in trouble, they're not killing him because they need to save him for later before they kill him. I don't know. It's kind of puzzling right now. We'll have to see where this goes. It's interesting, though. Okay. So this is Cardiff 1812. Chandelier. Okay.
Pretty ugly.
He's like, I'm not
I
impressed.
bet that thing hasn't always hung here. Looks like it belongs in a hall or a drawing room. It was probably taken down at some time and then stored here. The windows are nailed up with heavy planks. I'm not gonna get out of here. Huh. It doesn't look to me like I'm gonna be able to loosen the boards. Not one bit. Fastened up for good.
Okay, so we're going with the window. That's fine. Clothes dummy.
The idea of these things is that you hang your suit or uniform over it to stop it creasing. You can then maybe brush it down, too.
I was wondering about this earlier, but I think it makes sense that you limit what things he can interact with early so that you're focusing on what will get him free of his bonds before he goes exploring the room. So I guess that makes sense. But I was surprised, like nothing over here at all, nothing over here, nothing. But no weird comment like, why the hell am I grabbing a dummy? Maybe it'll be useful at some point. Fine, I guess.
Let's see what's behind it. Interesting.
The Gordon family
tree. Hey, maybe it'll give me some pointers to where I... There, right at the top. Samuel and Catherine Gordon. Then is that the Gordon's family tree? So this house also belongs to a Gordon. Are they behind the whole thing? The Gordon's family tree, beginning with Marcus and Mordred,
Marcus was
going
the
up
brother.
to Samuel and Catherine Gordon. Hundreds of years of family history, full of murder and suffering.
Yeah, it's not a pretty history. The curse is obviously taken a big toll on the family.
This rope was lashed around my chest. It's notably longer than the other pieces. Huh. The remains of what I was tied up with. Several pieces of rope, all between 1 and 2 yards long.
Mordred? Do you mean Mordred? Morbid means like a kind of like a dark and leaning toward death theme sense of humor or something. So Mordred, Mordred, Mordred was the evil brother who was like, I'm trying to remember if he was actually doing like human sacrifice or if it was more just he was exploiting people and people were suffering and dying as a result. Anyway, he was doing things that were causing the suffering and death of people in the area around. And then Marcus was the supposedly quote unquote good brother, not actually saying good per se, right? But you know, the quote versus the dark, the evil versus the good. No, no, that's fine. I wasn't trying. I was just trying to make sure because morbid. Maybe you're trying to say two different things and your sentences didn't get separated or something. I wasn't sure. Sorry, wasn't trying. I was just trying to clarify for myself. Yeah. So Mordred was kind of the dark evil guy, supposedly. I mean, evil, whatever. He did bad things though. Either way, but it's not to say that Marcus didn't do bad things either. But anyway, then Marcus is the one who killed Mordred, and Mordred left the curse on Marcus and his descendants.
The office chair won't fit in here at all. It was probably brought here to tie me onto. The office chair won't fit in.
Okay. So we're not. Looks like we're not doing anything with it.
Huh. Looks like tightly bundled material. Towels, bed covers, sheets, blankets. Perhaps the occupiers weren't able to take them with them, but also didn't want to just leave them to the rats and mice. That's why they bundled them all up as tightly as they could. The thing weighs at least 60 pounds. I'd rather not drag that around with me. The cloth is so tightly bound that it's gone rock solid. Weighs a good 60 pounds, that thing. The cloth is so tightly bound.
Okay. So we're not gonna try anything with that probably, unless we find another shard of glass or a knife or something. Then maybe, I guess. But otherwise,
There's some other stuff on the shelf. Looks like the mice have been at them. Some of the things have holes in them. A head. I think it's for putting your wig on so that it keeps its shape. I can definitely use that.
probably combine it with the dummy that we grabbed before. I'm guessing. Yeah, the whole family's suspicious. That's right. Let's be honest. The whole family is suspicious and not seems to be not great. That's
Damn
right.
it, not Holden. They certainly don't belong together.
Nope. Okay, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to tie them together. So I'm probably going to need something else. Glue or possibly like clamps or maybe bolts, I guess. Although if you're going to do bolts, you're going to have a drill or something to make a hole for the bolt to go through. So I don't know how they're going to manage that. Strange place. We'll find out later.
This place in the wall looks a little strange somehow.
Is it a
secret compartment?
Oh, I was thinking maybe a service elevator, but maybe not though.
Oops. A kid's toy. Nothing more than kids' toys. Some child must have made themselves a store here. I've already got the toy car. I don't need any more of those things.
Okay. Yeah. To continue the point from before, given like stuff that Samuel did, clearly Marcus's bloodline, at least, whether Marcus himself was quote unquote good or not, clearly Marcus's bloodline is not the most upstanding and holy of bloodlines.
Exposed ceiling beams. Pretty rustic, all that. Exposed ceiling beam. Too short.
Oh. Let me just take it back. Although it did not disappear from here. That's funny. Okay, so I think we're gonna use it for something. Oh, maybe we use it for this.
The rope's over the joist. The joist has to be strong enough to carry pretty much any weight.
I see it was over the joist in my inventory. Got it.
I'll tie the rope onto the binding. Like that. Let's see. That works all right. I somehow have to draw my conscientious guards into the room. I somehow have to draw my... I somehow have to draw...
That's all the same. Okay. Oh, maybe. That I can't tell the color now. Okay. So this needs to tie to something else, I think, right? Or I grab it. This is a counterweight. I'm trying to think. I was thinking we'd tie it to this and then tie it to the door handle. And then we would maybe lift this and, I don't even know. I don't actually know. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. I think there's anything else over here. What am I going to do? Use the exit. Let's do that for now. Let's see what he
A
says.
hallway with a stair at the end. There's a kids program on the TV.
Oh.
Is there anything I can do for you, Samuel?
He's not Samuel, but she thinks he is?
What the hell was that?
Oh. Interesting. He's having visions or something.
Hello? Yes. We arrived. It's nice here. Everything's just like you said. No, Tom's gone shopping. Yes. Tom tied him up with rope up. I know. The man wasn't very nice to me. But I don't think it's good that he can't leave. Yes. I'll keep watch. Bye.
How were we not nice to Bob? Didn't we treat Bob
think
nicely?
I'm slowly going mad. There was a woman's voice. She called me Samuel, and I heard music. All right, now I really must pull myself together. Bobby's sitting down there, and Tom's somewhere around too. The pair of them have kidnapped me on behalf of someone who knows this house. But where the hell am I here? And more importantly, how the hell do I get away? Bobby'll notice the car, come up here, and we'll open the door. Then he'll see right away that I'm no longer sitting on the chair. If I'm unlucky, he won't come in and will bolt the door from the outside. Or he'll be so alert that he'll spot the trap.
I see. We're doing this, I guess. And then the sheet, maybe?
Wobbles a little, but the back of the chair is supporting the head. Why should I tie up the clothes dummy? It's definitely not gonna struggle.
Okay, fine. White sheet.
Not bad at all.
I'm gonna save it in case I die. Since well, you did point out that there was a place in this game where no, you didn't point out. I learned, right? Yeah, there's a place where you could drown earlier, so you could die in this game, just like you could die. Sammy could die to the wolves. So who's to say that that's the only spot, right? So let me do this again. Okay, let's try this again. I guess I don't know. And then maybe I grab the rope once he's here. He comes in. I guess hide or something. He comes in. Then I grab the rope, and as he comes back, I let go of the rope, and it drops on him and knocks him out or something. Maybe. I don't know where I'm gonna hide though or something, but.
Okay, now I need to act quickly.
Hello? Everything okay? Oh.
Sorry, Bobby. Nothing personal. And now, let's get out of here. But where's all my stuff? I need my camera. He's still tied up and unconscious.
Poor Bobby. I know. That's actually what I was saying too. Is like he said like Bobby on the phone was saying no, he wasn't nice to me. I'm like, when were we not nice to him? We got him more chilly. We talked to him in the pub. I don't know when we were not nice to him. I'm trying to remember what we could have done that he would consider not nice. Can't think of anything. I don't know. Okay, well, I think we're done in here. I just want to make sure before we leave. There's nothing else, but I don't think so. Oh, charred rag? Maybe.
The fire's out. It wouldn't have burned for much longer anyway.
Yeah. I think the idea is Bobby was still standing here in the light, and it's darker in here, so he couldn't see very clearly. And I think Bobby may not have seen Darren in here before. He just knew that Tom took him up to tie him up. So maybe Tom tied him up and put a sheet on him so that Darren couldn't see anything either, and Bobby didn't know. So he just thought, oh, there's somebody with a sheet. And because it was dark, he couldn't tell it was wooden legs. I don't know. I'm willing to suspend disbelief on that a little bit, personally, but. Yeah, I think that's everything in here. All right, let's go out.
Let's hope that Tom doesn't choose right now to come home from shopping, and that it's not all that far to the next town.
Probably don't need to do anything with the toy car anymore.
Wow. The car seems to have withstood the impact well.
Yeah. Guess we'll grab it anyway. Okay, fine. Seems like it'll be useful at some point later, too, then. Chest.
Bobby must
sandwich
have had
paper.
himself a sandwich. And there's the wrapping paper still lying there.
Disabled Bobby. Sorry for him. Yeah. Yeah, I feel badly for Bobby. Bobby is, I think, too easily convinced by his brother Tom. His brother Tom is up to no good. Not necessarily evil, but certainly not good things. And he drags Bobby into it because he's his brother, and so Bobby obviously is going to try to help his brother out. Bobby doesn't fully understand that the stuff that Tom's doing is not good stuff. Trying to remember, I feel like this is not. This is the place that was like in Wales or something, isn't it? I don't think this is the Gordon Castle. This isn't like the Gordon Castle. This is that small country manor that was in in Wales or something, right? When he visited like his, like, I don't remember what they were, but like his his half cousins or something like that, whatever it was they were. That's where we are, I'm pretty sure.
That's a pretty old-fashioned cell phone. Modern ones only weigh about a pound and are no more than 12 inches long. Sure, I could call the police, but what would I say to them? Help, help, I've been kidnapped and I'm now sitting in a house somewhere in Britain. Or rather, allegedly somewhere in Britain. For all I know, I could be in Denmark. Or India. I need more information first.
Yeah. Yeah, in Wales, that's right. Yep. Yeah, so this is the Welsh property, the place in Wales, not Gordon Manor.
Sure, or rather...
Okay. Television. We originally, when we were Samuel, we came in from this side. Looks like we cannot do so now.
This castle must be a few hundred years old. It would only ever have been heated with fireplaces back then. The chimney probably went through several rooms, so that it could give off heat all over.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. There are plenty of people in town that he was much better than, for sure.
It doesn't look like there's been a fire here recently, but there are still a few charred bits of wood in the stove. I'll take one of the smaller pieces.
Yeah, maybe we can use like some charcoal to write a note later.
Now my fingers are all black.
Like an emergency.
Well, it's funny that lots of folk like to hang carcasses on the wall. In Evil Dead, I thought these stag heads were funny. But this one here is pretty quiet, and sure hasn't got much to laugh about. Who might that have been? The king of the castle?
I like the music for this
The
part.
piano
It's cool.
seems to me to be at least 100 years old. Mom got a lot of pleasure from it. She used to play piano very well. I don't play any instrument at all. And if I could, then I'd rather play bass in a grunge band than a piano in a castle.
Yeah, his mom's dead. That sucks.
I didn't know what I should play, apart from the fact that I probably wouldn't be able to play anyway. I didn't know what I should play.
I should know. Not having a mom is not awesome. Okay. Let's go to the chest.
A finely carved wooden chest. Now, are my things in there?
I haven't seen
Locked.
anywhere else.
Yeah, well, it would have been too simple otherwise.
I haven't seen anywhere else where the stuff could be, so.
The lock in the lid kind of suggests that it's not going to be easy to get the lid open. Yep, so it is.
Don't think any of these are going to help me open the chest.
The carving shows small circles over a line. Perhaps some kind of pitch information? That's too many circles for me to tell. That's too many.
If I do this,
The circles are recessed into the wood. That means that they must be able to be traced on the paper using a piece of charcoal. Hey, worked well. You can easily recognize the circles as well as the lines.
that's going to be notes to play on the piano. Interesting. Okay.
Could the circles on the chest be simplified notes? Notes which just give the pitch, not the duration? If they really are notes, then there's a starting point missing. Perhaps you can begin anywhere, and just have to pay attention to the relative pitch of the notes with one another.
So what does this look like? Let's say his bottom line is F. Or, sorry, not the bottom space. So the bottom line is E, so this would be D, right? So we could go D, F, F, E. A.
That was it. I think. I didn't make any Always the same note.
Da, 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 da. No, hang on. Let's back out. Let's try this again. Okay. So let's do it again, and then I'll try to pay attention to. So it'll be D, F, F, E, A, E, F. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. So I need to figure out what the dun. Which one is that? This? Dun dun E. E. Okay. So starting on E, now I just need to figure out the rhythm again. Make sure I didn't mess the rhythm up. Hang on. So let me do this again. Okay. That's 5 at the end. Na, 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 na. Okay. That's E, right? Na, na, na. Too far. Okay. so that's not right. So it's got to be E, and then D. Oh. G. Okay, so it's E, D, G are the notes. Okay. They're out of pitch, so it's a little harder than normal piano stuff. Na, 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 na. Maybe I have to do it in rhythm. Let me one more time. Make sure I get the rhythm right. Hmm. I don't. I don't remember what you said no to now. It's been enough time. I don't remember what you said no to. But yeah. So maybe. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong with that. That's what I was doing, isn't it? How? I don't understand.
I'm guessing that the chest isn't as old as it looks at first glance. As far as I know, numerical locks like this haven't been around for long. You have to enter the right three-figure combination. Only, what is it?
Maybe it's 325. Maybe it's the number of notes that are played instead. 3, 2, 5. There we go. There we go.
Sounds like it's done something.
So that was what we wanted.
Got it. Combination worked. Alright, there's my stuff. Alright, I'll just take this stuff. I probably won't need the rest anymore.
All the stuff. I figured they were tied to each other, but I wasn't sure whether these notes were supposed to create a click from here, like the lock would just click on its own, or if something was supposed to open here and I'd hear a click that way. I wasn't exactly sure what was expected to happen, right? So, but we figured it out. It wasn't too bad. Darren should have been beatboxing while trying to figure out a piano puzzle. Probably need to do the piano again, right?
I don't think that the piano's gonna help me again.
Probably not the cell phone. You already said no on that. Probably exit. I just want to make sure there's nothing else to examine or anything here before I go. Banner. Probably just gonna have a comment, I'm guessing.
Some kind of banners or flags. Strange that no one's taken them. These things usually stand for history and tradition. And would somebody who lives in a castle like to have them with them? On the other hand, if you wanted to leave everything behind you, then probably these things would be the first.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else. Cell phone is gonna again say probably. I'll click it just to make sure, but he's probably gonna say again, like, I don't want to call the police. What do I tell him? And then there's nothing with the pizza boxes or the glass or the mug or anything. So I think we're done. Let me do the cell phone again, just make sure.
Sure, or rather...
Yeah. And upstairs is just Bobby at this point. Yeah, I think we're out of here. Pretty sure.
Oh, great. Wonderful. I'm in the middle of nowhere. The next house could be miles away, and Tom could be back at any minute. I think I better find out where I am first. If Tom does come back, I can always jump into the bushes.
There's a boy over here? Oh.
The boy's around 12 years old, I guess. Looks like he could be watching me. Hey, kid! I know you're there. Come out, I'm not gonna hurt you.
You couldn't anyway. I'm much too quick for you.
If you say so. I'm Darren Michaels, a mighty physics student.
I'm Van Helsing.
Whoa! The vampire hunter? I always thought you were a bit older, sir. I saw some toys in the castle. Are they yours?
Yes, all my things. And my car. I got that for my birthday. I daren't go in there since those men have been there.
You better not. They're dangerous.
Are they werewolves?
No. But they kidnapped me.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say cool, but sure. Fine, kid.
Can you tell me where I am? What's this castle?
Eh? It's the old Gordon's place.
The Gordons? From Willow Creek?
Willow Creek? I don't know what you're talking about. Sir Richard and Lady Eleanor used to live here.
And where are we exactly?
Where? In Wales.
Oh, great.
He's like, so not England anymore. Fantastic. I gotta go, I don't know, what is it, 300 miles? 500 miles? 500 is probably too far. Like 300 miles east just to get out of Wales and back into England.
Have you seen the two men who are living in the castle now?
Yes, nasty men.
You bet.
One of them chased me. Said he would call the police if I don't disappear.
I'm sure he wouldn't do that.
The woman was much nicer.
Which woman?
The pretty one.
I see.
Was here a few weeks ago. She was snooping around and asked me about the summer house and the laboratory. And then she went. She took some blood samples with her.
Strange. Did she tell you her name? Or what she planned to do with them?
She needed the blood for research. Angelina said.
Whoa, what?
for research. Maybe she's a vampire hunter too.
What did the woman look like?
Well, like a woman. Pretty.
Like this? Did she look like this?
Yes, that's her. But she had long blonde hair when she was here. I liked her much more like that.
Long blonde hair. And when did you say she was here?
It was before my birthday. About 4 weeks ago.
Long before we coincidentally bumped into each other in Biddeford.
Yeah. Yeah, she was not in Biddeford by happen chance. Now, that's the thing. I'm not saying Angelina's bad. I have no idea. Maybe she is, but I have no idea. But it was suspicious that Angelina just shows up out of the blue. Oh, I'm vacationing in Biddeford? Of all places you could vacation, you're going to Biddeford. Sure. And she's like, well, I'm a history student. I'm researching. Yeah, I don't buy it. But that's fine.
What kind of summer house is that?
It's all ruins. Blew up.
Really?
Yes, a long time ago. My father says that old Sir Richard died in the explosion. He had his laboratory in the summer house. He was a scientist. I think he was a vampire.
Really?
Of course. He experimented with blood. Who else does that kind of thing?
Maybe you're right. And they gave up the castle after the explosion?
Maybe. That was 10 years ago. Since I've been coming here, the castle has always been empty.
Wonder if Lady Eleanor is still alive. She, though, also, just like, what's her name? Samuel's actual grandmother? Just like her, Lady Eleanor was also, like, probably past menopause, right? So she could not have continued the Gordon family line either. Can't remember if Sir Richard and Lady Eleanor had kids. I feel like no, but maybe. I don't remember if they ever said.
What exactly did the woman do when she was here?
Looked at the castle and the summer house. Especially the house.
Do you know what she did there?
Looked for something, and I think she tried to get into the old laboratory. At some point, she gave up and started searching at the tomb in the marshes. I had to go home because it was starting to get dark. When I came back the next day, she walked past me coming from the summer house. She had a bag of blood in her hand and was very happy. And then, she left.
Listen, Van Helsing. Can you do me a favor and keep watch for the car and the other man coming back? I need to have a look around here and, I need a lookout.
Of course. Nothing gets past me.
Excellent.
Thanks, buddy. You're on the case.
It can't possibly be a coincidence. Angela snoops around the Gordon estate, and I discover a connection to this very family in Biddeford. Did Angelina lie to me? The question is, did she have a good reason, or does she work for the Order? I can't leave here before I found some answers.
Good old Samuel trick, exploding scientist because he didn't feel like going for an hour walk to get what was needed. Samuel was a selfish, heartless. Oh, it says castle over here. The text. I didn't see that show up. At first I was like, okay, tell me what this is. But it's way over here. It's all of this is the castle, I see.
A dream habitat for frogs and swamp plants. But that wasn't ever the plan, for sure.
Yeah. This was all... I think this was grass in the other game.
Ugh. It smells all rotten and a bit airless. Probably the leaves from the trees rotting in the water.
Not gonna go to the garden yet. We will at some point, but not right now. Statue? Huh.
Whoever the guy is, and judging by his clothing, I bet he never reckoned on ending up standing in a swamp.
Yeah.
Not long now and you'll see this place is one green sea of plants.
Yeah, I do wonder what happened to the leftover remnants of the family. So Lady Eleanor, is she dead now? Is she somewhere else living out her last days? Also, Samuel's grandmother, I think she is still at Black Mirror Castle. Maybe Lady Eleanor joined her there? I don't know. It's kind of curious. Obviously, this estate is no longer being used. After the death of Sir Richard, she probably decided there's no reason to stay.
What a dump. The castle looks like it's been fighting a battle with nature for the past 10 years. And lost.
I mean, to be fair, that's almost anywhere in the old castles in England that have not been inhabited for years, right? They all fight a losing battle against nature, and then they get covered with moss and weeds and trees and whatever else over time, right? I've not been to like up like Finland and Sweden and Norway, or even Denmark for that matter, but I've been like France and Germany and Belgium and the Netherlands and Hungary and Poland. I've been through a lot of the main part of Europe. And anytime I've ever seen a castle, it's been, I mean, except for one, maybe if there's still a castle that's being held by some kind of royal or elite family, but pretty much all the castles that no longer have inhabitants look very much like this.
I can't believe that someone still lives here. Everything's so run down and overgrown.
Does someone actually still live here, though? Not really. Bobby and Tom captured me and put me in here, but there's nobody actually here. And then he comes by to play around, but there's nobody actually living here, I don't think, is there? I did not get the impression. I thought it was abandoned. I don't know why he says, I can't believe somebody still lives here. Whatever. Maybe I missed something.
Only this window has been nailed shut. The others were left unprotected and so for the most part are broken. It looks like the occupiers moved out in a hurry. Or they didn't care about what happened to the castle.
Nothing really more, just a description that he gave. Talking about that, the occupiers moving out in a hurry. Anything more I've missed? I don't think so. But I think I pretty much examined all the stuff here. So it says this is a castle. I thought this was more of a manor, but I guess it is a castle. He says so. Maybe just a small castle or something. Probably just go to the garden. I don't think there's anything else in this marshy area, but let me double check. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, let's go over here. About Eleanor living somewhere, some other place. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. I mean, it's maybe or maybe not in my head anyway. So, thanks for the extra non-information. But obviously, thank you for not giving anything away.
Apparently they used to use to blast the garden. Ah, it's had it. There's a huge rip in it about a yard long. I was probably watering it over the winter, and when it froze, it will have bursted.
He says it's had it, but then we pick it up.
Real useful to me up till now. Hopefully the same goes for this one.
He's like, this hose is a piece of garbage. Let me pick it up. Really? Okay.
That could have been a tower at one time. The princess would have been locked in the top, waiting for her knight in shining armor. Who knows what's waiting there now?
Okay. Probably a snake or something.
I'm pretty sure that there's something interesting inside, but I can't get inside from here. The house, or what's left of it, is not as old as the other ruins here. Apart from the burnt places on the ruins, I can't spot anything else of interest.
This still shifts over, interestingly. Where are you going? I'm clicking over here. Why are you going in there? Fine.
The bowl is full to the brim with water. The outlet's probably blocked so that the rainwater can't escape.
Okay. Unlike in the first game, I will not I will not need to keep clicking this thinking there's still going to be something that I find out that I don't find out, because you don't get any more description. First game, I kept coming back here. Is there something going on with this gargoyle? No. The answer is no.
That's where someone either tried to turn into the entrance, or the wall fell down through old age. Behind the wall is where a kind of moat begins, maybe 4 or 5 yards deep. Down there's just stone and junk, perhaps a few objects from the Middle Ages. Swords, armor, that sort of thing. But that's for archaeologists to worry about.
So nothing more there. Wall?
This wall is definitely just as old as the tower, and just as shaky. I had to keep away from it. The only function of the wall seems to be to hold up the gate. I won't disturb it.
Okay, I guess inside. I don't see anything else out here in the front.
A tree's blocking the way, but I reckon I can climb over the trunk. Oh, damn! That could also have gone in my eye.
Yeah, exactly. The first game, I was like obsessed with it. I was like, every time I came by, I was like, let me try the fountain again. No. Next time I come by, let me try the fountain again. No. Next time I come, it's like, dude, stop trying the fountain already.
Luckily, it seems to have not rained here for a while. That's why the morass is relatively hard and dry. Otherwise, I would have sunken deeper, and might not have been able to get out on my own. Luckily, it seems to have... Otherwise, I would...
I remember these. There's like a wall with random, like these random sculpture things. There's a ball. There's like an urn or pitcher or something. Not pitcher. Probably like a bowl or an urn or something. Anyway.
A pulley, somewhat battered and weathered. But it still works. Looks useful. I'll take it with me.
Of course you will, Mr. I haul around with me 1,200 pounds or 600 kilograms of stuff everywhere I go. There's crypt I could go in, but let's not right now. Statues.
The statues are of veiled women, grieving for the dead. In their book, it says... nothing.
He's like, this will be really interesting. Never mind. There's nothing here.
3 very similar trees, all about as thick as an arm, about 3 or 4 yards tall, and pretty bent over by the wind. The trees only have their first branches quite high up, and barely any leaves. They're obviously not doing too well, but they're still too thick to break them and bring them down. The trees only have their first branches quite, but they're still too thick.
I don't know that I would want to pull them down. I don't. Maybe eventually, but as far as I know, I don't have any reason for doing so. At least not right now. So we'll just not worry about that for the moment. There used to be the ruined church up here too, but I guess that's out of our view now. Maybe even the church is no longer there. Right, in the first game, when Samuel was here, that church had already kind of been sucked up by the swamp or the morass, and it had started sinking and stuff into it, so it was inaccessible anyway at that time. So it's probably completely submerged or something by now. Especially since nobody's been caring for the property.
A monument. And there's more behind. Maybe some kind of family plot. Strange. None of the graves look like they're from recent years. Most of the stones must have been standing there for decades. Is that also some kind of grave? Huh. Nope. Rather more like a water basin. There's about half an inch of duckweed floating on the water.
Half an inch of duckweed, ugh. Definitely do not try to drink that water, jeez.
Huh. It's a miracle that the stairs haven't collapsed, but I'm still not gonna step on them. It's a miracle that so much of the house is still standing after the tree smashed into it. Nothing interesting to see. The roof has caved in and buried the room below it. No chance. The door's wedged. And even if it wasn't, the building looks likely to fall down any minute anyway. Huh. A hook. It still looks pretty sound despite the rust. Ah, it's damn well fixed. I'm not gonna get it out with my bare hands.
Little bar. We could hook stuff up to it, maybe. No, not the pulley. Or the crappy hose. Or the rope. Maybe not. So we will probably need pliers or similar, and I don't know.
No. I don't need to strain myself there. It's well fixed.
Well, we do still get to look at it. So probably there's a because that stupid gargoyle fountain, for example, in the first game. But there's a decent chance that we will end up interacting with it with something. Let me see. There's nothing else from here on this, right? Forwards, but let's go back over this way. We've not gone in the crypt yet, so let's do that.
Huh. The ground's real soft everywhere here. I think it must be a swamp. I bet as soon as it rains, you can't put one foot in front of the other. This building must be the only one you can still get into. Obviously a wild, romantic place. Only the stinking swamp outside ruins the atmosphere. Obviously a wild...
Okay. Excuse me.
The lid is partly fallen in. That would appear to have been a few years back, though. The lid is partly fallen. Could be Poseidon. Well, the statue's got a trident in its hand, at least. A stone figure holding weighing scales. The scales are empty. This stone statue is covered in moss, like the others. It's carrying a metal shield. Unusual.
It's a difficult part of the game for you because you didn't realize one thing. Oh.
The shield hasn't been moved in years. False alarm.
If what you did not realize is spoilers. Oh, the swamp thing? Yeah, I was going to say, if what you didn't realize is spoilers, then don't worry about it. But yeah, if just that it's a swamp. Yeah. That's
There are
fine.
2 belts. They look like carrion slings. And they look new.
Interesting. New, huh? Why? What have they been doing in this crypt?
The belts are a ripstop weave. They'll sure hold quite a bit.
Yeah, the whole being in the swamp thing is interesting. But it's not surprising to me, to be honest, because of how this property, this estate, was in the first game anyway, right? Like I was saying, like the church, for example, was already in the back. The old abandoned church was starting to sink into the swamp and stuff. So not surprising that if nobody's been on the property to care for it for a while, that it's been just completely overrun by the swamp.
Little Van Helsing reckoned that Angelina had spent a long time messing around the tomb here. And here's the lid, not lying squarely on the sarcophagus. There are some stone chips which have come off the edge. Doesn't look all too old. Angelina had opened the sarcophagus, that much is clear. But why? I don't know why Angelina had lifted the lid off the sarcophagus, but she did, I'm sure of that much. The question is, How can I do that? The lid must weigh several hundred pounds. Angelina must have definitely had some kind of suitable equipment on hand, as opposed to me.
Well, we have this.
I can't get the lid open using the pulley on its own.
Oops.
I'll place the sling around the back right corner, and the other around the front left one. The slings are exactly long enough to touch in the middle. Great idea. Oh, but sadly I've forgotten my crane. You know, the one I wanted to hang the pulley from. A good plan. Unfortunately, the thing doesn't have hooks.
I have a hook out of the building. How do I remove the hook from the building?
In horror stories, there's always secret passageways under sarcophaguses like this. And they always lead down into secret underground chambers. In reality, though, I think I can exclude that idea. There are only probably some horrible beetles and corpse-eating maggots in there.
In the Black Mirror castle, at least, there is that secret area underground. Here, maybe not, but in the Black Mirror estate, for sure, there is. Was, at least, but probably still is. How do I remove... Try to do... No. I was thinking you can do, if you have something like a metal pipe and you have rope and you twist it, you can put like a lot of pressure on what's being pulled by the rope, and it can actually cause, the pressure can cause something to rip out from a wall, but I think you need... What do you need for that? We need something else. A lever of some kind, I think.
A battery-powered toy car. When you turn it on, it just goes dumbly straight ahead. Looks like it's hardly been played with. A battery-powered...
No. I don't know that I want... I don't think I can even take the car apart, so there's probably nothing in there. Let me think. I don't know of any pliers or anything to get that off. How am I going to pull the hook out? Then we can use the hook over on the pulley. That's okay. I don't think... I've not put anything together from what you said, so I think it's fine. Let's see. Lanterns?
This lamp definitely hasn't worked for eons. And for sure is never going to again. Wrecked. Like everything here.
It's there. Let's see. Cannot grab any. There's the trees. I could do maybe that. No. Doesn't like that, so maybe not. Oh, no, nothing with this, I'm assuming, yeah. Crypt. Is there anything in here still? Well, I think I will think about it over the weekend or over the week, and then next weekend we'll do it again. We'll continue. I have some ideas, like on a high level. I don't know if they're gonna work though, and I also don't know if we've got what we need for my ideas. So we'll find out next time. We'll see if that's going to actually be a thing or not. All right. Well, thanks, Kissa. Thanks, Salil. Appreciate it. Don't worry, Kissa. I don't think you gave away too much. It seems fine to me. As far as I can tell, it seems fine anyway. All right. So in about 8 hours, we'll be doing more as dusk falls. So if you can join me then, that'd be great. And if not, don't worry about it, obviously. I appreciate you guys stopping in and joining me for the stream anyway. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have been enjoying some of the stuff we've been doing recently. Yeah, we'll just keep going forward and see how the games end. Work out. Talk to you guys next time. Till then, peace.
Poor spider.
This freaking boy.
Oh, that's so sad.